What is going on, Multiversers? Welcome back to the channel. It is Sunday. You know what that means. It is time for the very last Multiversus Yay or Nay episode for characters. We will still have one more episode, but that will be the final poll result. That'll probably be in 1 week's time. But yes, today will be the very last character for the Multiversus Yay or Nay episode. Again, a couple weeks ago I mentioned that this series was going to be wrapping up because, well, reasons. But either way, we got the character of the day, which is going to be Blue Beetle. And there's a few different characters or a few different people that have taken up the Blue Beetle mantra. So I guess we'll go with Jaime Reyes. You know, he's the one he's in the movie coming out this summer, which, by the way, the movie looks pretty good. That first trailer, ooh, that looked pretty good. So my thought process was, hey, we got something DC related, Warner Brothers related coming out in the summer. Fans are already kind of talking about it and they're already excited about it. So if that movie does well, maybe people will start jumping on the Blue Beetle for Multiversus bandwagon, and then you know, the devs will hear it, Player First Games can start working on it in advance, and then once the game re-releases next year, heck, maybe Blue Beetle can make it onto the roster. But yeah, as always, the Yay or Nay series, we're going to start off with some ideas for a moveset. Simple stuff. So move number one, well, in Injustice, it's called the Energy Cannon, so we could take the same name if we want, or we could come up with something different, but this one's a very basic, very simple one. So oftentimes when I do one of these videos, I try and add some sort of projectile, as most of you guys know that watch the series. So that's what we're starting off with, a projectile attack called Energy Cannon. So Blue Beetle here will basically fire out this little burst of, well, energy, and it just kind of, you know, flies through the air. It's a very simple projectile attack, nothing crazy to it, no added extra effects. It's just Blue Beetle will fire out this burst of energy and it hurls its way through the air. You know, travel speed could be pretty decent. Travel distance could be, you know, pretty decent as well. It's not going to be something that reaches from one end of the stage to the other, but, you know, it's going to have good distance and decent speed, so it's your typical projectile. It just helps out with the long game. I would imagine putting some sort of ammo counter on this, so Blue Beetle can't just sit there and spam Energy Cannon over and over and over and over again. You know, maybe he has like 3 ready to go, and then of course whatever the cooldown might be on top of that, sure, whatever. But you know, typical projectile attack for a neutral special here with Energy Cannon. Now on to move number 2. This one I envision Blue Beetle's, or as Blue Beetle's grounded forward attack, and we're gonna call this one a combo of strikes, combo strike, blade strike. I don't even know what to name. Basically, it's a combo. It's the grounded forward. Many characters have, you know, multiple attacks that go into one, so it's like a mini 2 or 3 hit combo. So that's kind of what this will end up being. So as you can see by the clip, Blue Beetle will start out by using his patented, his trademarked blades on his arms, his arm blades. So he'll start by doing 1 slash. You could maybe even throw in a kick in there and then slash with the other arm, or you could just do like 2 slashes, you know, slash with the left arm, slash with the right arm, simple 2-hit combo, something like that for a grounded forward attack worked pretty well, just to help Blue Beetle kind of rack up a little bit of damage. And then you know, those, you know, the blades themselves, you know, they're gonna pack a little bit of a punch, so damage should be pretty decent. But yeah, again, 2 or 3 hit combo depending on if you want to throw in a kick, a headbutt, a punch. It'd be kind of weird to throw in a punch, wouldn't it? If you're slicing with the arm, then a punch, and then you slice with the arm again. So yeah, maybe a kick works better. But either way, just some sort of combination of attacks for his grounded forward attack that racks up damage. Now, move number 3. In Injustice, this is called Mandible Strike, but the reason I use a lot of clips from Injustice for some of these characters is I like what they represent, and I think Multiverses can use that in its own way, tweak it and change it somewhat from what you see in Injustice. But again, in that game, it's called Mandible Strike, but here's how the move works. This one I envision as his forward air, maybe even forward air and ground attack. So Blue Beetle will start by doing this massive lunge forward, obviously in the direction that he's facing, with his arm blades pointed, well, forwards, obviously again in the direction that he's facing. So when he does this lunge with the blades pointed out, if the blades happen to catch an opponent, they will basically kind of like pierce them, or basically kind of they attach to the character or the opponent. So Blue Beetle flies through the air, say Superman's in front of him, and he hits Superman with this attack. Well, it's going to carry Superman with him, and then as Blue Beetle travels through the air, Superman goes with him, and then of course there'll just be kind of like an abrupt stop, and then Blue Beetle, you know, the opponent just kind of like gets off of the arm blades and they kind of go flying or whatever, or maybe he does like a little bit of a slam afterwards, so he kind of like pierces them, flies through the air, and then just slams them down onto the ground. Something simple like that. Plus, again, it's an attack that will have pretty good range, and of course attacks that have range can be used for offstage recovery as well, so that's why I envisioned like a forward air specifically for this attack. But just an idea, and I think it works pretty well. Blue Beetle's not going to be a big character by any means, so probably a bit smaller, but maybe one of the more speedier characters, so this could help work. But yeah, either way, there's move number 3. Now on to the alternate costumes. I think this one's pretty simple when it came down to it. Just to play or pay homage to past or other Blue Beetle characters, I think that's where the alternate costumes should end up going. Just the costumes from those other Blue Beetles. For example, the first one here of Dan Garrett. Again, just kind of paying respects to other Blue Beetle characters, so that'd be kind of fun with this one. Same thing for alternate costume number 2. You know, pay respects to Ted Cord. So it's just kind of, you know, ideas. Like I said, it's paying homage to them. You know, don't forget who else was out there. You know, so it will always be, unless, I mean, they could always go the route of, I guess, hiring more voice actors to make the. I mean, the moveset's going to stay the same regardless, but, you know, if they wanted to make the character feel special for an alternate costume and hire a different voice actor for Dan Garrett or Ted Cord if they really wanted to do that, or they could just go the route of just the different suits, and of course the main character would still be Jaime Reyes, but, you know, you understand what I'm saying. So there's your alternate costume ideas. If you have any of your own ideas, again, as always, feel free to drop those in the comments. Now let's talk about the taunt / winning or losing animation. So up first, I think this one would be much better as a taunt, I suppose. It would be kind of fun. I know maybe it doesn't make too much sense. I think it does. Anyway, here's what taunt number 1. You know, the Blue Beetle itself, the scarab, you know, what if he just kind of like, what if Jaime is just kind of like holding the beetle and it's just kind of like fluttering its wings about? You know, it doesn't fly away or nothing, but he just kind of holds the scarab going, what the heck is this? So maybe as a taunt, maybe as like a winning or losing animation. I don't know, just somewhere this would be kind of just funny. Just kind of something simple and quick would work pretty well. And then for taunt number 2, this one, not a taunt, but this one would definitely be a winning. Honestly, could also fit as a losing animation, but he just kind of like suits up and then he flies away. You know, so if it's a winning animation, you know, he's flying away off into another battle. Or if it's a losing animation, he's flying away because, oh, I'm embarrassed that I just lost, so I need to get out of here. Something like that. But they're just ideas. So there you go with the taunts or winning and losing animations. Now for the yay or nay portion of the video. I'm going to start off with a big ol' yay. I love Blue Beetle. I love that he got included in Injustice, and I would flip my lid if he actually were to be playable in Multiverse. I don't expect him to be, so I mean, fingers crossed, you know, on my end here. But I think he could be a pretty fun character. It's at least a superhero that doesn't get a whole lot of love, but now he's starting to. He was in Injustice. Now he's getting a movie coming out in the summer, which I'm definitely going to see probably two times. As long as it's good, I'll see it multiple times. But either way, big old yay for me. So yeah, let me know what you guys got down in the comments, yay or nay. Either way, that is going to be it for this one. That is it for the series until, well, next week when we do the final poll results. So yeah, very quickly do want to say thank you to each and every single one of you that have ever come out to drop a vote, drop a yay or a nay. So can't do this series without you guys. I know it sucks. Some of you guys, actually there's quite a bit of you guys that were kind of, no, I don't want to say upset, but you were sad that the series was ending. But I always believe you can't let things go on for too long. There's a point where if you're creating something, if you're doing something, there comes a time when you just realize it's like, yeah, I think it's time to move on from this and do something else. And, well, we've pretty much hit that point. At least I believe this series has hit that point. So this is why the series is wrapping up. Either way, thank you to each and every single one of you. I appreciate you so much. But that is going to be it for this one. Hope you guys enjoyed as always. And I guess I'll see you when I'm looking at you.